Welcome to the City Council meeting for Tuesday, October the 4th. A little bit about our agenda. In a minute, we're going to have the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we'll have two recognitions, and then we'll get straight into the agenda. The invocation tonight, Jennifer, you have the invocation and the pledge.
Please join me in prayer. Thank you for this opportunity to gather together today in this great nation in freedom to discuss the business of local government and to pray openly over our great city. We lift up all of our local leaders. We ask that you provide them with wisdom and right judgment to make the best decisions to move us forward in a way that's pleasing to you. We ask you to watch over our city employees and cast a shield of protection over our frontline workers. And we ask that you hold our residents near and dear to your heart and protect them with your love. God, we ask that you guide us to do your will in all things that bring us closer as a community and as a family of Sugar Land. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've got a couple of recognitions tonight, the first of which is Fire Prevention Week. Chief, would you like to come down, introduce the topic for us?
Good evening. I'm joined by Mark Campisi, our Assistant Chief of Operations, and we're here to kick off Fire Prevention Week, which for us is Fire Prevention Month, but this dates back to Mrs. O'Leary's errant cow that kicked over the candle and burned down most of Chicago. This is what this dates back to. So we use that as a remembrance every year that fire safety matters, and this year's theme is Fire Won't Wait, so plan your escape. Usually we bring a lot of crews in with us and we make it kind of a hoopla, but our crews are already out on National Night Out tonight. We have 100 block parties that we're trying to hit with 7 fire trucks and 5 ambulances, so we needed to get started pretty early. Last thing with my comments, I just want to talk about 2 significant events that are coming up this Saturday. We are kicking off our first Hot Topics event at Fire Station 1, 555 Matledge Way, where we're partnering with ENS to talk about solid waste and other matters of the city. And then October 15th, we're holding our second fire safety or public safety extravaganza at the mall on the Austin Parkway side, where we're partnering with all Sugar Land first responders, including the police department, our public works first responders in the fire and EMS departments. We're highlighting all the first responder activities that we do to keep the public safe. And that's on the 15th.
Perfect. You're just a marketing kind of guy. Let's lead the proclamation, Fire Prevention Week, October the 9th to the 15th. Whereas this week commemorates the Great Chicago Fire of 1971. Is it 71 or 17? 1871. Well, we got 9. We're going to have to correct that. I thought it was back in 1800s, which 1971. Wow, which killed more than 250 people, left 100,000 homeless, and destroyed more than 17,400 buildings, and serves as a motivating force to bring the people of Sugar Land together to build a safer community. And whereas this year's theme is Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape. Therefore, by taking these steps, you will make your homes and families safe from fire. Whereas citizens are encouraged to join in prevention activities at home, work, and school to commemorate Fire Prevention Week. And Thomas, I'll let you make that correction to the proclamation. We can hold it for the photo, though. Come on, Council, come on down.
And it's Thomas, probably we sent that over incorrectly.
That's all right.
All right, great. Look your right here, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next recognition is for tonight. Chief Brinkley, come on down. It's National Night Out, so you're wondering why our council members are in shorts. They're not, it's not just because they're on the dais and they can't see their legs. They normally don't wear shorts, but it's National Night Out. Some of them wanted to be comfortable. Some of us are dressed in a business attire, which we normally do. Doug, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, first up, I said I'd never, ever, ever follow Chief Boker, but I've been put in this situation, so I'll move forward from here. I know I'm excited about this. National Night Out, I think Mayor will probably talk about it when he does the actual proclamation, was founded in 1984, around that area. And really what it does is actually try to bring us together as a community, but also law enforcement together to make sure that we make a safer community, a place for all of us to live and work. Over the years, I think it's evolved, especially here in Sugar Land, but also nationwide, where it's more than just the public safety. Quality of life, safety of the community really involves every single department within the city, and I think we exemplify that over the years. I'm looking forward to being out tonight, interact, eat some great food, great parties, and we're gonna have a blast tonight. Hopefully it's gonna be one of the biggest ones we had in a while. I think it's gonna be one of the biggest ones, so I really look forward to it. We have the picture. I'm bringing the guys in uniform down here and trying to take a picture with us. You don't mind? Okay, cool.
Don't be shy. Come on.
Come on, guys.
That'll be you, Pete. Yeah.
Man, Councilman Wadley, I want you to be as excited for the PD as you were for the fire department. Come on.
One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. And last one. One, two, three. All right, thank you. Ready for tonight?
Better drive fast.
Item number 3, consent agenda. All these items are going to be taken as one motion unless a council member wants to pull a particular item. You might notice on the consent agenda there are a large number of items, pretty typical. We just came into our new budget year, October 1 through September 30th. These are really routine contracts that roll over from year to year. Anybody want to pull an item? No signed up for comment. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we didn't do the public comment.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion by McCutcheon. Do I have a second? Second. Got a second by Kermally. If you vote at this time, please. And it's 7-0 vote. Thank you, council members. Item number 4, donations. 4A, consideration of an action on acceptance of a donation. Apparently, we did have somebody on the outside calling in. For donations, consideration of and action on acceptance of a donation from the Cullinan Park Conservancy in the amount of $1,237,000 for the construction of Cullinan Park Improvements Phase 2, CIP CPK 2001, and authorization of a budget amendment in the amount of $1,237,000 to revenues and expenditures. Our own Joe Cheshire, Director of Parks and Rec. Joe.
Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. Really excited to be here tonight to bring another donation forward from the Cullinan Park Conservancy. As you may recall, back in 2015, we entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Conservancy, and also with the City of Houston and the Houston Parks Board, an interlocal agreement for the City of Sugar Land to basically take over and operate and secure and maintain Cullinan Park. And the Conservancy agreed through the MOU to raise funds for the development and improvements to the park. So since that time, over $2 million has been raised. And in 2016, the city annexed Cullinan Park into the city limits, and then at that point we took it over and started maintaining, operating it, and providing security for it. And then in 2016, the initial donation check was received, and that kick-started phase one, which we completed in 2019. Funds were raised by the Conservancy that went towards the restroom building. That's been a big hit there, and then the boardwalk that goes over the wetlands area and the overlook deck and some additional trails in the park. So that was all completed in 2019. And then since 2019, we started working on the phase two plans. We did a conceptual design that the Conservancy covered the cost on those, and also did some wayfinding signs because people were getting lost in the park. So wayfinding signage really helped to make sure people could get out safely. And so since that time, we've received additional donation of $213,500, and then tonight the donation for $1,237,000, and that would bring the total donations to $2.73 million. I do want to acknowledge all the members of the Conservancy that are here tonight. They've worked really, really hard. It's been difficult during COVID to raise funds for anything. And so, but they've diligently stayed at it, and the bids came in kind of high on this project. They got out and really beat the bushes and got additional donations so we could be here tonight. I just want to acknowledge all the members of the board that are here. We've got Robin Mallett, the president of the board. We've got Betty Baitland, Keith Borgfeld, and Cece Parker, Gay Thompson, and Monica Taylor, and also Beth Wolf, the executive director of the Conservancy.
Could you all please stand, please, and be recognized?
Okay, and staff recommends certainly that the city accept the donation for this project, and we offer our gratitude to the board for all their efforts to make Cullinan such a destination that it's become. In parks, we really take pride in trying to keep it up and nice and clean and inviting for the public, and Sugar Land PD has been great as far as keeping the eye on it and keeping it secure. We work well with them, and it's been a really great partnership. I do know that the board would like to get their picture with y'all tonight too, once the motion's made.
Well, and Joe, when you look at, I was in the park when it first came over, and we made a commitment, and you all made a commitment, and I think we both lived up to more than our expectations. So I want to thank you for that. Thanks to you, thanks to PD. It is, for those people that haven't been there, you need to go. It is a wonderful asset for the city of Sugar Land. Who wants to make the motion? Watley's got the motion. Who wants to make the second? McCutcheon's got the second. If you'll vote at this time, please. Let me guess, it's a 7-0 vote.
Yes.
7-0. Thank you, council members. And then if we could have you guys come up, we'll get a picture, council.
Right here, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, there it is, right down the back. Give me one of them pictures taken. That good looking guy in the picture, Reece, and Mayor Thompson. Hey, Jimmy, you want to go on a ride, National Night Out? I know, he's trying to hide out back there. Item number 5, contracts and agreements, 5A. Consideration of an action on authorization of a construction contract with Millis Development and Construction LLC in the amount of $1,415,907.72 for the construction of Cullinan Park Improvements Phase 2 CIP CPK 2001 and authorization of a budget amendment in the amount of $200,000 to revenues and expenditures for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Recreation Grant. Joe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. So this would be for the award of the construction contract based on the donation that was just received. And so over the summer, we went out to bid, advertised throughout June, accepted bids in July, and Millis Development Construction was the lowest bidder on the project. We have worked with Millis a number of times on parks projects, and they've completed a number of really great projects throughout the Houston area and then for Sugar Land as well. So we're excited to have them on board for this project. The funding sources for this project, as noted, were from the Conservancy's donation tonight, and then the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department provided a grant of $200,000 for this project, specifically for the trail expansions in the park. And then there were some residual funds from other Conservancy donations for other projects, bringing us a total for the project $4.80 million. And that leaves us a little bit of contingency, a 4.59% contingency for the work. So staff is recommending that the City Council authorize the execution of a construction contract with Millis Development and Construction in the amount of $1,415,907.72 and authorize a budget amendment in the amount of $200,000 for the Parks and Wildlife Grant for Cullinan Park Phase 2 site improvements, CPK 2001.
Questions? We've got a motion by Jacobson. Do I have a second? Second. A second by Kermali. Vote this time, please. It's 7-0 vote. Thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge Chad Millis with Millis Construction was here tonight.
Oh, they're good.
Thank you.
Hey, Chad. Item number 5B, consideration of an action on authorization of an interlocal agreement by and between Fort Bend Independent School District and the City of Sugar Land establishing a pilot program for preventive maintenance services at the James Reece Career and Technical Center for the city's non-emergency response vehicles. Shahid Ali, Fleet Services Manager, and Rena Varghese, Chief Information Officer. Rena.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Before we begin the presentation, I would like to provide a brief background of how the interlocal agreement came to be. The Department of Innovation created the F.U.S.E program, which is Forming Unique and Strategic Engagements. And the real purpose of this program is to collaborate with and engage community partners. And so how do we do this? We've provided internships to Fort Bend ISD students through the Reece Center, particularly IT students, as well as fleet automotive students through our summer program, which really helped provide public sector experience for them. We've participated in externships through educators. We've also conducted mock interviews with students and career fair participation. So what are some future opportunities that we're looking at? We want to continue to engage not just Fort Bend ISD, we want to engage other school districts in our region, as well as regional partners and community partners. We have a lot of hospitals in our region, so how do we connect with those community partners to provide internship opportunities, explore other pilot projects? We are currently hosting 2 U of H Sugar Land interns in the Department of Innovation as well. And like I said, we want to continue to connect with other schools as well to provide opportunities for them to gain experience in public sector. So the James Reece Career and Technical Center, as you all know, prepares high school students for the workforce. And they also have highly skilled teachers that are overseeing learning activities. We do have 3 representatives from the Reece Center here today: Crystal Mills, who is our assistant director, Renee Cosby, who's a program manager, and David Borski, who is the automotive shop manager.
If you guys could stand, please. Be recognized.
So we do believe this is a very unique opportunity. I'm not aware of any other municipality that is doing this service. It is a mutually beneficial partnership where we are engaging a career and technical center to be able to create a pipeline for them, because we do understand that there is a gap sometimes in certain skill sets like electrical and HVAC and automotive. And so we want to be able to make that connection and that partnership, and also give them real-world experience as well. And so this pilot program that Ali is going to be talking about, again, is something that we believe is unique to Sugar Land, but also to just municipalities in general. And he's going to talk a little bit more about the details behind the interlocal agreement.
Thank you, Rena.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So where Rena left off, when they first came to me and talked about this program, we were extremely excited. We thought, what a great opportunity. Where do we start? How do we sign up? So prior to jumping into this, we were able to host 2 interns during the summer, and it was a great experience for myself, for staff, and for the students. We got a lot of positive feedback, and we said, hey, how can we run with this? So we came up with the pilot program. Initially, we'll go ahead and start with our light duty, non-emergency sector trucks. So we're not going to be sending fire trucks or medics over for the students to work on. So in essence, we'll do your F-150s, and then we'll continue to expand on that. So initially, it'll be a 1-year agreement with the ability to renew. We'll go ahead and work with the center manager to schedule. So what that would entail is we'll go ahead and either schedule the operator, or we, the fleet staff, will go ahead and take vehicles over there directly for them to perform basic maintenance services on. This includes oil change, wipers, state inspections, and things of that nature. So in essence, this for the fleet staff, this will free up opportunities for us to prioritize critical items. Preventative maintenance, it's not to take away from that, but it's just items that we sometimes don't always have the time. So for us to get a quicker turnaround on some of this equipment, we'll be able to direct it directly to the Reece, where the shop supervisor and the students will go ahead and handle the repairs and the basic maintenance on that. Also, at the same time, it's kind of like getting a second opinion. So if a vehicle does go over there, you have experts there as well. So we're able to bounce ideas off of each other for the scope of work. It's not just one person looking at it. And we pride ourselves in the safety and integrity of every single vehicle. Therefore, I think having that second opinion as well, when stuff goes over there for maintenance, we'll have that. We'll have that at our fingertips. We'll share that information. We'll collaborate. And then naturally, we'll go ahead and address it in-house through the services we provide. The funding, it's not going to change. It's going to be through the general fund, the repair and maintenance account, which already exists. At the end of the month, we'll go get an invoice from the center, and we'll go ahead and process it like we normally do. It's not going to change anything as far as that structure goes. So with that, staff recommends the City Council authorize the execution of the interlocal agreement between City's Fleet Division and Fort Bend ISD James Reece Technical Center to establish the private program for the preventative maintenance service. And we'll be more than glad to answer any questions.
Any questions? Yes, sir. William?
Love the idea. You must be the best dressed tonight. Good job. Take note.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
I was going to say something.
There we go. Got a motion. Do I have a second? I've got a second by Lane. Do a vote at this time, please. And it's 7-0 vote. Thank you, council. Item number 6, ordinances and resolutions. A, consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land, resolution number 2246, a resolution authorizing publication of notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation. Jennifer Brown, our Director of Finance. Jennifer.
Thank you, Mayor. As you're aware, we issue certificates of obligation for airport capital improvement projects. We previously, was here in June. You did the same notice of intent, but it was for $4.25 million. Once the TxDOT bid the parallel taxiway relocation, our share went up about $1.1 million. And so we exceeded the authorization of the notice that you had approved to publish back in June. So we postponed the sale of the COs. And so we now have a firm number from TxDOT of what we owe. And we've gone ahead and added in the $1.265 million for the runway design that was approved in the fiscal year 23 budget. So our anticipated amount to construction is $6,410,211. This debt is repaid by airport revenues, not by property taxes, even though it is a certificate of obligation. It is wholly repaid by the airport. State law requires us to publish a notice when we issue COs. It has to be published once a week for 2 consecutive weeks, at least 46 days to the prior of the date of the sale. And there is specific information about our debt obligations that must be included. And so this gets also posted on the city's website, and it runs continuously until the sale date. So this evening, we're asking you to approve Resolution 2246. We are planning the sale for December 6th of this year, which would be the first council meeting after the 45th day. We will publish the notice starting next week, October 12th and 19th, and then once we have that published, the first publication, we'll put it on the website as well. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Council members, question? Motion. No questions. Motion. Got a motion by Kermally. Do I have a second? A second by Ferguson. Vote this time, please. And it passes 7-0. Item number 7A and B, I'm going to ask the council if we can defer that, and I'll take a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Carol. Council's adjourned at 5:58.
I'm objecting.